Oh, well. Welcome to the audio version on the video platform. I did do a video on two different versions of one for this channel and the other channel about the Carnival cruise, new rules, and people are getting all bitter. A little too hot. I'm going to do another one about Nomadic Fanatic's bus. We'll do it here. Maybe we'll do another one later. We'll see what happens. He will sell that bus. But welcome to your favorite audio addiction. This is the Mr. Mumbles. I love that name. It's classic because it's been told me many, many times by many, many people, because when I say something and I talk about something, people get pissed and say, "You're just mumbling. I can't understand what you're saying." It means, guess what? You're telling the truth. It's a beautiful weekend to be alive. The birth of a nation we had, and we're at the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport. Everything went off without a hitch. I think $360, something like that, give or take. My phone only rang once. That's a good thing. That means everything goes off without a hitch. Some of you do an all call, which I don't need to hear. You're into service. I don't need to hear. You need this or that. It's not my business. Let me work in peace. The taste of Minnesota is in downtown Minneapolis, cordoned off to keep all the criminal poor people in one spot. It rained Saturday morning, but it was time for the people to go and do their business and eat food. Very expensive food. I feel dicked. Life is good. On the 6th day of July 2025, this comes out tomorrow for your consumption at 7 a.m. on the 7th day of July 2025. And wherever and whenever you listen to this audio, I hope it comes to you. You're healthy and you're wealthy and life is good. I really hope it all is always good. I want to make sure that life is good. I want to dedicate this audio to the men and women and the girls and all the children that lost their lives down there in Texas. No way to warn them down there in the flood alley they call whatever in Texas. With all the cuts and doge from the convicted felon and the adjudicated rapist. Our people need our help. We want to dedicate this to you guys in your honor. May you come home soon to your family and be buried in the grave. All the bodies be found. You're a Girl Scout, you're just having a good time camping with your girlfriends, and all of a sudden all hell gets unleashed and it rises 30 feet, whatever it was. That's a lot of rain in a very short time. I said I always feel I got life dicked. Never had that problem. Flooding, tornadoes, we get cold weather. But as I come to you on a beautiful day here in the great state of Minnesota, we've talked about the men and women in the armed forces. We've talked about, like Colonel Potter said when he did that toast, one was supposed to end all wars. When Germany capitulated, they weren't supposed to rearm, but Hitler rearmed, became the brown shirts in 1921 it was. Started indoctrinating, brainwashing, just like what the hunch is doing now, and a lot of those things with the behavior going on with insurance will be after the midterms, so by the time they lose, it's too late. It's like you realize you're pregnant, but he's long gone. Now you have to be a mother of the child. The father's long gone. That's where the military needs to be. We're still suffering out there in North Carolina of the behavior of the hurricane. But of course, Hitler had to invade Poland September 1st. Well, yes, he did. 1939. And kicked off World War II. And then, of course, Japan, we were cutting off their fuel, and they decided to go into Pearl Harbor. And we responded back, and we had to storm those beaches to prevent the behaviors of what would have happened here if we wouldn't have won that war. Sacrificed a lot of men and women as we made our way toward Berlin with the Ruskies. Snapped the necks of the Krauts and freed the Jews. Some good books out there that people knew about the Holocaust but did nothing about it. We turned back Jews to be slaughtered. It wasn't their problem until all of us they got there. No one cares until it's your family loses their health insurance or whatever it may be. But we soon took care of him, and he took his own life, and they capitulated. And then September 2nd, 1945, Japan capitulated and surrendered to the mighty, 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 mighty Mo. Unconditionally. McCarthy got off that plane. They turned their back on the emperor. He was the new emperor. And we built this world and to what it is now. They all hate us, but they all want to come here. We had the forgotten in Vietnam. Many wars out there. Desert Storm. Afghani War. 9/11 victims. But who are these brave men and women? Who are the men and women in blue? And God bless the working class that keeps this nation's world churning every single day. But who did sacrifice for my freedom to speak the language of English and have the right to go from state to state without any papers and practice what I want to preach? And if I want to be a gay man, that's my business. Germans executed a lot of people who were crippled up or gay. Who are these brave men and women? Balls the size of apple over the oak trees. Air Force, Army, and the Marines, and the Navy, and the Merchant, and the NASCAR Coast Guard, they're in uniform. We thank you so much for the service, this fine, fine country. Appreciate your sacrifices. The ones I'm planning on going, the MIAs, the White Stakes at the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, Fort Snelling, up in Randall, Minnesota, her mom and dad are buried. My brother-in-law, who died in the front yard in North Carolina doing the lawn, worked for Starkey Labs. He did the hearing aid for Mr. Ronald Reagan. He served for a good 6 years as a medic. Told me a lot of stories, picking up people he knew. Pretty tragic. 10 years, sacrificed a lot of people. But thank you for your service. We really do appreciate it. I do. People talk about them only on July 4th, Memorial Day. I think of your service and what you guys went through in the battlefield. I don't care what you're doing. I appreciate it. You are your choices in life. We'll talk about Carnival Cruises making choices of going for poor people and then realizing what's going on after the fact. You know, you run with in life. This voice, I don't run with poor people. I don't. Never have and never will. One of the people that work hard, gay, straight, lesbians, doesn't really matter. All people of color. But when you do something substantial that I don't like, I'll cut you up. My dad told me the difference between mistake and choice. My choice would always be, would you shower? Would you shower in the shower of Penn State? This voice would not shower in the shower of Penn State. No. Sandusky will come out in a crater. They still need everybody to be executed. The Crowies, one is dead. She must be either executed or deported for what she did. Looking the other way, the other gentleman should be dragged out of a cell and executed. Listen to Judd's Uncle Charlie. Him and his brother were predators. Naomi Judd, 3.5 years old. Before, it's a great honor to be an uncle of many nieces and nephews, and ones are coming through right now. And people at Oak Ridge Country Club, anytime you have a chance to be a child's mentor, it's a great thing. So when they talk about they're only kid for like 5 years, like 12 to 17, and have someone to help them along and giggle and cackle and do safe things. It's a good choice. Dottie still gets paid for his pension. Make it a hot check. Make them deliver somebody from Pedophilia University. P stood for Penn State, not Geopol. Here, until they're all in jail and executed, we call it Pedophilia University. The new people coming through realized I was doing a live show with a podcaster when they were riding, and I saw it. And he was giggling, cackling, laughing. I'll go home. He soon gave up and died without being in jail. Let's get ready for a football game. You see something, please say something. That's all you got to do. Oh, what's this? Nice. I'll eat that after the. But safe sex is always an issue. The condom. Should probably some banana bread. What's going on? Hey, Magic Johnson, are you lying then or lying now? Do you have AIDS or not? Just curious. Or just build the bridge, get over it. You claim you had AIDS, right? So I heard. Prevent AIDS, herpes, gonorrhea, needle in the penis. Ouch. Put a condom on, women. Women, you don't be the father of a father, child run off on you. What do you always say? Whores in the back seat, sluts in the couch. The sluts are more selective. Make love in the bed. Don't get either one of them pregnant, because then all of a sudden you'll be paying on a child you never see. Don't use abortion for birth control. Adoption's the option. A lot of spring babies are cooking right now from spring break. Will be available for adoption in all the colleges. Probably late December 2026. So don't worry about that, bitches. And also, this morning I saw someone in Crosstown sitting there in front of the vehicle. Had the light in front of their eyes, walking back and forth. I saw a wrecker coming that way. When I was going to downtown Minneapolis, I passed the scene of the crime. He was picking up a Mercedes, and that gentleman, or he or she, will be in an orange jumpsuit tomorrow morning when they stand before a judge in downtown Minneapolis at the courthouse between 4th and 4th there. Hopefully, they simply tell the judge I made a poor choice. He could have murdered somebody, but no, at 2:45 in the morning, he's in the hooskow. Should have called someone, but he didn't. Now he'll be a convicted felon in old Canada. Can't go see Lion Screw 1, who is obsessed, of course, with killing RV. But anyways, not a banana bread. How the hell are ya? Me? I'm always feeling wonderful and delicious. Hi, Baron Exposure. How are you? Me, I'm feeling delicious. Hope you're well, had a good time in the casino. This is the mumbler for you. He's been triggered. Did some video talking about Medicaid, and I get all that behavior. There's a lot of side hustles on this Medicaid behavior besides what he was talking about. But he likes adjudicated rapist and convicted felon. I don't know if that's who he runs with in his life. I guess. I didn't vote for the plagiarizer. I surely didn't vote for forked tongue, and I didn't vote for the convicted felon. I voted libertarian, but I do vote, and I go to work every day. I still hope he tells his wife someday, capitulates to her and says, I've been called out. I'm sorry for lying to you. Nothing wrong with being gay. People label you the P word all the time. They love to. Like, that's your business. Maybe you are one, I don't know. But people are doing that to me. I've 20 years doing this behavior. It's the way she goes. As soon as you speak out on somebody, wow, the P word rolls out of their mouth. Hear that all the time, and other people do as well. But anyways, he's fun to rip on. And she said, defending the adjudicated rapist, convicted felon, kicking people off food stamps. We got to take care of our people. We have to take care of our country. And I get it. Feed my starving children's overseas. The Doge idiot. American citizens, man, we take care of first. But it is what it is. We're at the gates of hell in this country. Hurricane season will kick in. Who's going to help them? Who? You bearing exposure? Me? Life will churn after Texas down there. Hopefully find all the bodies. Some may not be. Some 30-some caskets will be bought and plots will be digged, and move on something more substantial. So I might call Carl, but I haven't, I see Ding-a-ling-a-ling. He comes through now. I've seen maybe 2 of his videos. Oh, there you are. And it's just, he's doing videos nonstop. Skullduggery. Every single day. It's good to see Carl out and about, trying to go old school and do his job, doing something different. It can be a bitch, and I understand. Trying to make it in life and make your channel something substantial. I understand that. I don't get a lot of my adventure channel. I get what I get. Some come out. Somebody made a comment. They did a lot of videos down at the park, which is a cruising area for gay men. It used to be, and some guys, some troll, thanks for the group for gay sex. I get it. Because there was a long time ago, I think in that area somewhere else, there was a representative was a gay man. I think he got killed down there or something. He was down there cruising, I guess. But it is fun to go out with your camera and make some videos. I hope Carl realizes that. I was half joking about the take 2 weeks off. I think Carl's got a good personality. I don't want to hear either about truth tellers. If Sarasota Tim wants to sit there and tell lies and people are dumb enough to believe what he has to say, whose fault is that? He's a grown-up. It isn't like I'm out with vulnerable women and taking their money. That's one thing. Just like people that get dragged in on like religious cults and stuff. I could have a church. There was that one up there, Darling, Minnesota, that they burned the ground. I went to the cemetery. They burned it down in 1987. I love the bought in that church. I could be the pastor every Sunday and get a sermon from the internet. Say, hey, this sermon is blah blah blah. I'm going to read this sermon to everybody. It's a basic church. I fix it up. And people come. 11 o'clock, I have a sermon. Fort Snelling has a church. It's free to have a wedding there. You give a donation. It's at 11 o'clock every Sunday. I'm sorry, what? Go ahead. It's hot out there. Yeah, it's hot. Poor baby. He's going to take the girls for a walk. And it was a nice church. There's a church in downtown Little Falls, I think, is for sale. And I could every Sunday, if you want to donate to the church, it's entirely up to you to keep the upkeep, but I have the money to fix it. It's like Haggy Ranch, Haggy family. Have you have part of a security? Be a security man to be part of the Haggy family, right? But all you do is keep him relevant. Truth, I don't understand. I just never understood the phenomenon about him. I've never understood that behavior, what the big deal is. Just like bearing exposure. So triggered, he's going to call Walmart. Now people are going to call Carl's when he was a lawyer. People just get weird. Just like my good friend I haven't spoke to a long time. He's a board member, and he was a very good friend of mine. We're still friends on Facebook. His mom and dad had some serious car accident. Very good friend. He always said, Cowboy, people like to take away what you don't have. That's a job. And if you have opinion on YouTube, people get pissed. Like I said, bearing exposure. Again, gay tendencies, nothing wrong with being gay. It is illegal to call someone the P word, which people love to do that. I always say that sometimes that's when you do that you just will call someone a pedophile out of the blue like that. Are you self-reporting yourself? I don't know. I guess I could be an idiot, I guess. I am an idiot. I know a lot of gay friends. I've always been comfortable with gay men and lesbians. I loved Melissa Etheridge. I used to go to concerts all the time. Lots of lesbians. I was on the message board years ago. It was fun. And I knew a lot of them. We would chat and, met a couple times at the concerts. I didn't care they were bull dykes. Didn't care. Work with a few lesbians. A gay man at Perkins. But, you're your own thing in life. You said about, the gay issue, people piss them on two men having sex, right? But they'll watch lesbian sex, RedTube, wherever they do. But what do I always say? It's not a very Christian thing to be doing when you do that behavior. Double standards. Plain and simple. You run with a felon, you're going to be a felon. Poor people are going to be poor. That's who you associate with. I don't. But this Tim phenomenon about pissing and moaning with his behavior, the truth tellers. He's a bold-faced liar. He's damn good at selling and trolling people. To me, it's just hilarious. My favorite was your boy, bearing exposure. She said, "Gonna call Walmart." Another grown-ass man. It's just hilarious in my mind. Sometimes some people just can't handle that. Still the same IPs. California. I'm on some website. 21 Los Angeles, Vermont, Texas, Cedar Park, Houston. Minnesota is St. Cloud, 3 times Minneapolis, Rosemont. I didn't realize, I think Dave gave me, but I have an account to a Rumble, so I'm putting some of these audios up on Rumble for fun. They're actually monetized, right? I'm not in their monetized, so I put them up for fun. They're getting like 20 here and there. I think just they push it out, so I'm doing that. A couple of the audios go there, so hello, Rumble. That's a lot of hate to get pushed out there, a lot of righties. Cocaine City, Asalaya, whatever. Michigan is Westland once. The Ohio is Medina. I always appreciate everybody that takes time out of their day. Canada, Ontario, Toronto, Georgetown, and Concord. Thank you. But it's just like Foodie Booty, I think her name is. She's a big, large woman. And people, there's a couple channels that just dedicate themselves to her. I like Passion New Production. He does his own stuff, but he watches the Daily Woo and critiques. It's like, okay. I don't know. I mean, I know he's over in Paris. Cartbagger's a waste of good suffering. He really is. He's just a waste of good suffering, his behavior. But it is what it is. It's never ending. One second. But because there's that one guy I really like who would always rip on Carpetbagger, Demonic Abyss. There's another one. Where did I see this one I watched yesterday? $250,000 to drain a Tiffin motorhome. Liz Amazing. $250,000. I think those were Class Bs. Again, I saw Mark. He had his pop-up, which are cool. Pop-ups are pretty cool. They're pretty easy to handle. You know, I saw that. That's those you can sleep two people. It's very simple. Your basic bubble. You put the Wonder Hussy has an older one. She uses once in a while. I've seen the Schoolie, but that's a lot of money for a brand new machine, and they're having a problem with it already. That's just too much money. Just pull your house and drive your car. Drive a truck. You can pull and put it anywhere, but yeah, the drama never really ends on YouTube. It doesn't. Dave will always call me and tell me about certain things on his side. If it's Tina D, Nellie Green, he loved the audio I did singing. I said, well, I don't do them all the time, but that's fun to do. Hook up the sound thing and do a Dave 25 and have some fun. He understands. I mean, it's Dave. He loved it. He's low-hanging fruit. I was going through my shirts, and Carl, if you listen, I have an older Speculation Sports shirt. It's fine. It's just when I run my original shirts, and it's shrunk on me. Way back in my shirt, I'll ship that to you. It'll be your size. I was cleaning out. It's a nice shirt. It's an older Speculation Sports, like 9 years old. It's fine. It just shrunk on me before I got the new ones. I'm going to send it to him with a bumper sticker. It's a nice shirt. It's perfectly fine. I just didn't fit me. It will fit him perfectly, so I'll send him a spec shirt. I don't think I can get any more. I really don't. It's like $350. Speaking of money, for 24 of them, hats are kind of fun to get, but where did I see this? Las Vegas is laying off dealers slow because the foot traffic, like I told her, I said, if I went anywhere to gamble, I'd go to Reno. I love Sacramento. You drive up, South Tahoe. There's more to do. You just playing blackjack at a blackjack table. You come up on that highway you have In-N-Out Burger when you get off the plane. You come up by Strawberry, California, and you go through that city of California, and then you go across state line. Then South Tahoe right there. And if you want to stay there, which is a nice place, you can drive around the lake. But it's the last thing people want to do right now. Is go gamble. We were there 2 years ago. One got lucky. I think we won like $1,800 in both of us playing quarter slots. That doesn't happen all the time. I think she got 4 aces. I got 4 kings and 4 something else, and we were just killing time before we went back to the room after the game. It was like totally lucky. I mean, really? That's just a rare occurrence to all of a sudden cash out with that kind of money. That was fun. I still have a lot of that money left in my drawer. I mean, Vegas is fun, but a little goes a long way. That's why I like Green Valley Ranch. You're away from the strip. It's fun to go to Vegas like in November or October, even during Christmas week if you want. And then you just walk the whole strip. You get there Sunday night, get to bed, and go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday if you want, and fly back Friday. Just enjoy the downtown. Go out to Red Rock, whatever, and just gamble at night. But like I said, if I'm going to go a whole week, I'll bring my golf clubs. I'll go to Reno. And there's a lot to do in Reno. They've cleaned it up. It's just another place to play blackjack. It's all it is. A lot of the old casinos, and they're more of a handout where to shake your hand. Where Vegas now is going to go back to now hand out for a tip. That's what they're back to now. After 9/11, you could have flown a plane down there, but everything has gone up in Vegas. It's no longer cheap to eat there. It's fun. I mean, we stayed at Treasure Island before, Mirage, and it's a lot of fun. But it's 3 days is a long time. You go from Friday to, if you go Thursday night and then go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then come back Monday morning if you want. I mean, that's that way you don't rush Sunday night. The big rush, you come back, leave Thursday night, get in, just go to bed, and then you do what you got to do. Enjoy the whole weekend. Sunday night, everyone's leaving. You're just kind of relaxing, packing up, and having a nice dinner, and leave about 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. Don't take your time getting to the facility. Sunday night is a cheap room, but I saw that they're laying dealers off because they don't foot traffic, because people aren't, whatever's going on. Canada, people don't come from Canada to Las Vegas because of the hunch, so I'm not surprised. So let's talk about, I put a video out of this channel yesterday, and I did one for the other channel coming out today in the car. I like to cruise. I've been on numerous, we're going on cruises, the cruise in January to celebrate my friend Ted the Talking Head. It'd be 3-year anniversary where he almost died on the highway in South Carolina when he was working for the city, and he got ran over by a guy, and he was pronounced dead not once but twice, but they revived him and he survived. And he went and saw George Thorogood in Nashville the other day, and he's NYPD retired. Good friend of mine. He was when I first started podcasting, he didn't know what it was, because you have the it cowboy, you have the voice. I was over on Blog Talk, and he always encouraged me to do it. And what a very good friend. I met him through George Thorogood, the Delaware Store, because we were like-minded people. And that message board is long gone. I gave the guy $100 for the 1-year thing, and he just kind of disappeared. It was too bad. He was a very nice man. It was a great website, great message board. He had every single song George Thorogood ever sang and all the lyrics. You could send him pictures and he'd put them up. And it was a great, like-minded people that loved George Thorogood and the Destroyers and Blues. It was a great message. It was a great message board. It was fun. I met him through that. We've been very good friends. Went out to New York to see him. Took me to the Gingerbread House in Brooklyn. Took me to the aircraft carrier. We went to the submarine, and we had the time of our life. But we are going to go on a cruise in January, and it's a free cruise because we sat down here at a place down here and upgrade the whole 9 yards to the ship is going to be, I think, a little over $1,000, because we've got a real good flight going in and out of Puerto Rico, and the upgrade was whatever it was. Okay, I know what it was, but it was free to sit there. That was fine. We did that and had fun. And I don't take my wife to county fairs. I don't. I take her to state fairs, plain and simple. So, Royal Caribbean, we were on for our very first cruise, we went on that Golden, right? That ship, the Golden, and I can't remember that she got sick. It just was dormitory food. It was a okay ship. We did the Mexican cruise, Riviera one. And the ship was really boring, okay? And we had that ship they used to go to Hawaii. And that's like a 3-4 day trip to get to Hawaii, right? So from there on, we went on the Caribbean. We went on, go way back in my archives. You can see me doing some with my old flip camera, going on an adventure of the seas. We've been on that. Once you go on a newer ship with the Promenade, you won't go without one Promenade. Okay, plain and simple. Once you enjoy that, it's like St. Martin. Okay, we stay at a nice place, not a cheap place, not too expensive, but nice. So, lovely Carnival cruise. It's always been this cheap, like New York Dan goes on there, and he goes on by himself, and he goes out of Galveston, Texas, and all these places, and there have been brawls going on. You can type it in, the new rules, and there's all kinds of videos of people fighting. X has got lots of them on there. People just because what the problem is, they're not going to play rap anymore or hip hop. Same thing. It's the same music. That gets people excited, and then all of a sudden, you get some Hennessy involved, gangster juice. Mr. Alan Hernandez. I worked for a liquor distributor. I drove by it on the way down to Wendy's to do that video. Hunt Electric bought the building from Jack Goldberg. They're gone now out of there, but I had to fire a couple guys because they were trying to steal the Hennessy. I'm like, just if you need a bottle, I'll give it to you out of unsellables. I've had shots of Hennessy before. That stuff's nasty. It's firewater. And the people of color love the gangster juice. Hennessy Coke. That is the drink. That lights the fire. During the poop cruise, I guess they opened up the liquor, and that made it even worse. Okay? When they had that poop cruise, it's the Netflix documentary. Everything backed up on there. And I've said all along that it's nothing but just the, it's the Walmart. What's this one? It's the Walmart of the cruise. They're like Spirit Airlines. Same thing. That's what they do. And people don't get that when all of a sudden, if you're gonna go, what's that one breakfast place down south? We were in South Carolina. We got to go breakfast. I can't remember what it's called. Waffle House. Okay, that's what it's called. Waffle House, the yellow one, right? There's all kinds of brawls there. I was unimpressed with the steak. It was at this little thin shoe, right? There's always fights there because it's cheap, right? Poor people, white, black, Hispanic, doesn't really matter. I know a lot of people of color go on there because it's cheap. Just like I said in the video, when you're doing your behaviors, you want to have playing blackjack. Stay away from the $5 tables, the $1 tables, and you'll have people that know what they're doing at $10, $15, $25 tables. And people playing stupid, just like people play penny and nickel slots, right? And then they expect free drinks, and the chick in Las Vegas will just come by once in a while. We play with nickels and pennies. We pay the full board. But when she comes by, guess what I give her? Me and her are there, I give her $2. So she gets $2 every time she comes by. She gets money. That's what we give her. It's like I'm at a blackjack table. If it's a water, anything she gives me, I give her $1. Once in a while, I'll give her this is for a couple coming, okay? And I'll give her a red chip, and I'll make sure I said, then I'll give it, if I'm still there playing, maybe I'll have a drink of a beer and I'll say, whatever, then whatever. I keep the lady coming back because I keep putting her, like they don't live on compliments alone, right? So that's why people playing nickels and pennies, old people of color, whatever, sit there and play that. They'll play 4 or 5 lines and just play and expect that, they'll bring them drinks. They want free. But, I guarantee it. They're telling the bartenders, water it down because they're not giving any money. If I'm drinking, I have a pineapple screwdriver, maybe whatever beer they have on tap, maybe a bottle which will last me an hour. And I'll just say, you're good, I'm good. I'm fine, whatever. But I'm good for now. And she comes by, but I make sure I give her, if a beer, I usually give her 2. I go, I'll come look for if I want something. I'm going to be hanging out for a while, but I always make sure I take care of the lady helping me. When I'll go for coffee or something, the bill is $4. Maybe I throw a $10 bill out. You see that at Randall all the time. I threw a 20 out for one's coffee, and her dad would get all pissed. Don't count my money. Don't worry who I'm gratuity to, but I guess you can't bring on your Bluetooth speakers, which, hey, I get it. I mean, I like certain music. If you're going to have some kind of music genre, that's fine. You can put it in your earplugs and listen to your music by yourself. That's fine. If you want to listen to jazz, whatever you have, maybe you have a laptop and you can listen to country music. You want to listen to Brooks and Dunn? I love Brooks and Dunn. I don't even know their stuff, but they got some good music. Alabama, never saw them in concert, good band. Let's say I want to listen to a little country music, and I go on whatever that one that pays me all the time. What the hell that one is called, that website. I can't remember what it's called now. Keep forgetting. I know Ted likes that behavior. Sources, let me see the sources. Spotify. They pay me they give me a spiff. I want to go to Spotify. I'm on a cruise, but I'm going to have my headset in, and I can sit there and enjoy My Country Spotify, and just lay back in the chair. I'm not going to lay out and get tan, but just sit back and listen to George Thorogood or whatever. Not even around me likes George Thorogood, so people would come on, they're smuggling marijuana on, and people are showing. So let's say I smuggle on pot, right? And I do a video. Look at me, man, I'm smuggling on pot. It goes viral. They knew who I am. You can't cruise anymore because you're smuggling marijuana. And they're smoking dope on the cruise ship. I'm sorry. I'm gonna smoke marijuana if I don't have a job. I'll just smoke it in my yard. I'll smoke it. I'll go for a walk. There's plenty of good places on the river. I'll roll some good joints, and I'll just smoke my own geef outside and just enjoy myself. So I'm not gonna go on a cruise ship and smoke stuff in the out. But you can't save chairs for a long time. People love to do. They had some pictures of a woman of color. They had to lift her up and carry her away because she was being an idiot. But when you dictate to poor people, and you're going to have what they say, a ghetto cruise line like Walmart at Sea or Spirit, you're going to get people that don't know how to behave themselves. Plain and simple. That's all there is to it. It's just the way it is, man. And cruises are fun. I mean, I enjoy cruises. I mean, I love going on the Royal Caribbean. We've done the, you go from, we like to go to Puerto Rico. We like the one where you do the 5 down, then the day back to recover and pack. It's fun going to Puerto Rico. Mexico was a one and done. That's why a lot of people go to Mexico. They go to, what the hell's that? Everyone goes springtime. There was a guy at the airport. He took his 5 kids and his wife. It was like $6,000 to go. He goes, it was cheap and fun. It was at 3 different resorts. And he said there was like 30 restaurants. He goes, I only did that for the kids. He goes, it was fun, it was cheap, it was a spring break. And I go, I get it. He goes, never again would I go with you or anybody else. My wife go, you go to nice places. And that's what happened when you wanted the lowest denomination of poor people. Not all poor people act like animals. There are people that do behave themselves, white, black, Hispanic. But you start playing rap music, and just like if you have a rap concert, guess what happens? Shooting breaks out. They've done that at out there at that place out in White Bear Lake. It used to be Just for Feed. I don't know if it's still running or not, but they'd have shootings out there after the concert would get out. The demographic, and that's what they've worked this up. Just like I'm a kid, right? Carl's my child, right? Oh, Carl will grow out of it. Carl will grow out of it. He gets to be 15, 16, 17. Pretty soon I'm getting called the cop because Carl's being an idiot. Instead of nipping the butt when he's 5 or 6, I go, no, don't do that. But Carnival has made a lot of money at the poor people, and letting stuff go. And that gets on social media. Like I said, the only way I'd go on a Carnival, if you're paying for the whole thing. There's a lady that talked about in a video, and her friend goes, let me take care of everything, and we're not going on Carnival. I'll take care of all the arrangements. I'm taking you for your birthday. We're going on Royal Caribbean. She goes, we're not doing this. We're not going on Carnival. Not doing it. I've seen many of you. You can go type in after you hear me about the cruise, and it's absolutely epic, showing fights at Galveston on the unloading. People get off, and it's just nuts. People pushing each other, getting fights in hallways, and alcohol is a great thing. It's a lot of fun. I mean, when my drinking days, you have a few beers at someone's house and whatever. I mean, if you want to drink Pabst Blue Ribbon, have at it. But what happens? People get drunk. I've been at many Christmas parties. The old days, and all of a sudden next morning, people have their head down Perkins or something, somebody hitting on somebody, and that, I have full memory. I knew when to stop drinking, and I haven't been drunk in 33 years. I'll have a beer once in a while. I had a granny at my dad's gravesite. Had a little bit. She had some poured on all the graves, and we sat there, and there's a chair right next there, and we just kind of chatted, played the dogs. But all these new rules are doing that you can't bring in your speaker, which is stupid. You can't behave yourself. And all the stuff going on, and no rap music or hip-hop. So when they're having theme nights, like they usually have a disco night when Royal Caribbean YMCA comes out and it has a good time. And, there's probably stuff to ham on Royal Caribbean once in a while, but you're at that price point where people know how to behave themselves. They just don't. When the poor people get out there, they get in an area and they can do whatever the hell they want. People, hey, listen, you know what I'm saying? You don't bring your kids on a Carnival. That's where you go. If me and Carl are single, we want to get laid. We're like in our 50s. We want to get laid to some 22, 23-year-old young man. I mean, young woman. Or if you are a woman, you want to get laid by a young man, have at it. You know what I'm saying? But that's not my cup of tea. I don't go to rap concerts. I don't go to rap parties. I don't do that kind of behavior because it's bad things happen when alcohol comes out. I'm not surprised with this behavior at all, and with this going on here on Carnival. It just doesn't. These people are a bunch of animals, and you get all of a sudden, like I said, Hennessy is a classic alcohol. What's the rules for a solo? I am live. Call the show right now. What are the rules for a solo adult man traveler? I don't know. You can do whatever you want, but you got to behave yourself. That's all there is to it. That's Casey Grits. Hopefully he'll call the show. I mean, the rule. I mean, if you, like I said, if you want to go on a cruise, you can go on the Carnival cruise. Just behave yourself. You can get drunk, try to get laid. You can be like New York Dane and go on a cruise by yourself, and whatever. I get it. There's nothing wrong with that. Solo. I mean, hey, I'm in my late 60s. Let's say she's passed away. I'm 70 years old. I go on a singles cruise. You go to meet people. They do have those. Fine. But I'm not going on a poor people cruise. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. But you go watch videos on TikTok, you go watch them wherever, and they're out there of people acting like total morons, haymakers. All you get is me and Casey going at it, right? And Carl jumps in, and someone else jumps in, and pretty soon you've got this massive brawl, and they're banning like 40 people off the cruises because they're being a-holes, and people smuggling marijuana and all this behavior. But they have put themselves at this price point where you're going to get poor people are going to act like morons. So am I not surprised? No. This is what's happening in the cruise line. And like I said, I enjoy cruise. Hey, if I lived somewhere and I was in Tennessee, which I think is a great state because it's tax free, and I could drive down, and they call it cruise to nowhere. You can drive down the port, and they'll put you on a cruise line like Royal Caribbean, or if you have like a travel agent. And Carl's my guy, right? Or Casey Grits. Hey, cowboy, there's a cruise. Hey, you gonna go by yourself, right? Yeah, I'll give you this cruise for $600 for the whole week, outside cabin, or a cabin that faces the promenade. Come on down. Sure, I could drive my ass down there. It takes me 4 or 5 hours to get there, park my car at the offsite, and I go on a cruise. And then sometimes you can do, I know Ted is doing back-to-back cruises. His wife, they're going to go on a cruise with us and another one. I can do a 3-week. You can bundle 3 cruises together under one thing. If you want, that's fine. But you're there to meet people and have a good time. That's what you're there to socialize. You're a single man in your 70s and whatever, you're fit and you have a good time. And you can have a few drinks once in a while. I pay for the pop pass, and because I like to drink pop or soda, whatever you want to call it. I drink a lot of it, and I'll have a virgin margarita. And like I said, when I'm on my cruises, I've got my 5-star. I mean, I find 5 good employees, each give a $20 bill for behaviors. And cruises are gas. I mean, I think some people just get, that's why you use a napkin when you're dishing your food, because people, that's why all the dysentery and stuff gets pushed out, because, I'm in the bathroom cracking one off, or I got my hand down my pants, and before I go in there and, rubbing my nose. My favorite, we're at a casino out in Connecticut, that real big one, and this old lady flips off the potatoes off the spin, and we were in Embassy Suites, free weekend we had, because the points still at Embassy Suites, and this guy puts his hand in the chair, Sue Ellen goes, "Where have your hands been?" I looked at it, she goes, "We need new chips over here." This guy just put his hands in there, and she was ready to kill him, because he was a pig. That's why a lot of stuff starts. People cracking one off in the bathroom, they're touching all the stuff, and then all of a sudden the whole ship gets it. But you protect yourself by having a napkin. And I love a good buffet. Old Carnival buffet was cheap and expensive. They had good food way back in the 80s. We used to go all the time and just chow down, man. It was great. Then slowly went downhill, and then it just became to be horrible, and they had some financial problem. They went down. It's too bad. I mean, buffets are fun. You can chow your delights, but you got to be careful with the people touching the spoons. Get yourself a napkin, and when you're touching the stuff, that way you're not touch someone else's hand, or they touch their crotch, their bras, or whatever. They're sneezing their hands, and you're getting infected from their diseases, right? We'll see if Casey Grits calls the show. But there are rules of engagement when you are on a cruise. Just behave yourself. That's all you got to do is behave yourselves. Don't be a dink. Okay? Have the time of your life. That's all you got to do. But people don't. But I know they're going to be, the chairs are a big thing. You just can't sit on them all day long, or put your stuff after 45 minutes to take your belongings and that kind of behavior going on. And I'm the kind of, we have a deck all the time. Sometimes the most relaxing thing, like we get back early from our excursion. We don't really do any excursions, and we go downtown. I'll have a cigar. We'll have a small lunch somewhere, maybe buy something, and get back on the ship. And we go swim in the pool, the adult one, and hang out, talk to people, and then make our way up, take a nice shower, and you hot tub it, and a nice shower, and then we go to dinner. Have a nice dinner. We try everything on the menu. We had a good group of people on the Royal Caribbean. We had put everything on the menu on the plate the first night. We tried everything. We all sampled it. So usually I love Royal Caribbean because they'll have like a basic menu of stuff you want, a steak, and they have like Italian night. So if you really don't want Italian, you have escargot and stuff. So I enjoy cruise. I could be cruising every other weekend if I was a retired young man living close to a port, but I'm not going on the Walmart of the seas. I'm not going to do it. But people are pissed and moaning about it, and a couple of people of color are like, hey, they're getting sick and tired of people of color and ruining it for everybody else. That's why you can't have nice things in this world, because people ruin stuff. When I was slow walking in Minneapolis up Cedar Avenue, right by 55, there's the two bridges. They blocked that one off, the 55. Then you have the Socialist train right before the stoplight on the right side. When you're heading in, there was a nice MTC shelter there for the local people to jump on, right? Well, guess what? They were living in that all summer long, and whatever, they took it out because guess what? It became to be a hub for people to sit there and screw around. So people in the neighborhood don't have nice things. They can't go there. Just like 42nd and Hiawatha. They're having problems with vagrants because there's a street that leads to the houses. They're having problems because people can't have nice things because the poor people being idiots. Ruining, harassing people on the platform. I was at the gas station on Holiday off of Hiawatha, right by there. Went in to use the bathroom real quick. Hey, man, got any change? I go, no. Are you sure? No, I don't have any. Every time you go there, vagrants are all over the place. You have to stop at the walk up, knock on your window. It's a 42nd Hiawatha. It's non-stop skullduggery. People at every corner looking for money. It's just some people sit in a wheelchair. But I get it, man. But no, it's too bad. I mean, people go on, behave themselves on Carnival. They go because it's cheap. That's great. And they behave themselves. They bring their children, and they're fine. But it's always the 10% that ruin it for everybody else. And they act like total idiots, and they get brawling, and they start listening to rap and drinking Hennessy, gangster juice. I don't know this. I like gangster juice. Oh, yeah. I love the gangster juice. That's what they do. So that's what happens, man. Could you see Barham Exposure going on a carnival with his lovely wife? Just out there partying down, getting in a fight with a man of color. Barham Exposure starts lipping off to some man of color. That'd be epic. That'd be an epic video. Barham Exposure gets in a brawl. It'd be hilarious. No, he's pretty law-abiding. I don't think he'd misbehave himself. He'd probably just enjoy the cruise like anybody else. Like a grown-ass man, he would. Him and his lovely wife are hanging out, and all of a sudden, he's bumped into him, says, excuse me, and all of a sudden says, hey, boy, what do you think you're doing, boy? Boom, and all of a sudden he's being knocked to the ground, him or anybody else. You bump into somebody in a club, oh my God, him and his wife are at the club, right? He wants to have a cigar, he's hanging out, having a beer, and, just enjoying the cruise. He just got done with dinner, and somebody bumps into him, and, he could be anybody that could happen to you. New York Dan, he's the known guy in the world. That could happen to me. He could get bumped into down at the pool. Someone maybe he just says hello to somebody. What are you with my wife for? And all of a sudden there's a brawl breaks out, and New York Dan gets his ass whipped by about 3 people. Valley Fair over there in Shakopee, I think it's after 5 o'clock. It goes down to whatever it goes, and these all kinds of fights down there. Some father stepped in to protect his daughter. He got his ass whipped. A bunch of black guys jumped him because he was protecting his daughter. And that's why Taste of Minnesota is in one spot. It used to be in St. Paul, and by the state capitol. It's beautiful. I saw George Thorogood there, and some great concerts. And they went out to Waconia. And I remember Foghat was out there. Now it's down to Minneapolis, and it's not fun as it used to be, and it's expensive. It was in town, so I mean, but whatever it may be. But that's just too bad. I know people like to go on cruises, and there's nothing wrong with that. You want to go by yourself? I get it. You're a grown ass man. You want to go. There's a lot of like-minded people. There's I've seen some biker like jogging cruises where they go to port and they jog. We were there one day in a motorcycle cruise. A bunch of motorcycle people. One guy coming up the ramp, they tip it over. So they'd all get off every single cruise and they'd go motorcycling. So they do a lot of like-minded. They have a rock and roll one. My friend Skittles was on there. And Foreigner was there. George has done one before, a blues cruise. One thing about blues cruises, the more bands they have the rooms go up because they got a lot of the stuff is free. They should have just like 3 bands. Make it simple, not like 5 or 6. But George was on one. My buddy went to one, and they call it blues cruise. And I get all the like-minded people, but it's a shame to see what's going on with these Carnival. But it's these rules and no rap, no this, no that. But I don't know, man. We'll see what happens, and let's go someplace else. Anybody, I don't care, you're white, black, Hispanic, anybody that has any law abiding, aren't going to go there. It may be a young black couple, maybe 2 black women that want to go and have a good time. They're like, let's just go on there. Let's go to the Royal Caribbean. Let's just go. We'll spend the extra nickel and we'll have a good time. Be treated like queens. Maybe we'll meet somebody, whatever. But we can enjoy ourselves and be people that are of our ink. I mean, just like CC. She's an African-American woman here. She's on Channel 11. She's a gorgeous black woman. She is African-American. She doesn't have all the behavior on. She's absolutely gorgeous. If I was a dated black woman, CC would be my girl. She's absolutely gorgeous. She's great on the eyes. Hey, I like a looking black woman. I really do. That's all African, all black. None of this behavior going on. She's educated, isn't talking inner city behavior. She's a sweetheart. I see people all the time. I'm out and about that are beautiful women, white, black, Hispanic. They are all women, and they're smart. I can't stand dumb women, especially gangster women. I'm not gonna have that kind of behavior. But I just figured to just talk about that for a little bit here. So Nomadic Fanatic, right? I remember when I first saw his. I think that's kind of thing I found blind views. When I saw him. It got recommended to me. I'm like, because I love that. There's a place over in Richfield that has about 4 or 5 shuttles from different hotels that are sitting there. I don't know if that's where they bought them or whatever, but I'd love to get the old shuttles you see at Embassy Suites, any of them. Well, let's say I'm 40 years old. Me and Carl and Marky are friends, and we have like a couple shops, and we get all these old shuttles, and just like with what's her name, Wandering Gypsy has a schoolie and something like that. We buy up all these old things. They're gas powered, right? And we fix the engine and try and put new tires on it, put the bed in the back. We build out these working man's thing. We can even make someone wants us to make something of a Vikings paint as a Viking one, whatever. We can do that behavior. So I get what he's doing, and I talked to Carl about this and somebody else, another diesel mechanic, and a while ago, right after I talked to Carl about it. And he goes, your friend's right. He goes, we do it all the time. He works for MTC. He goes, we send in the oil, and they do it like 150,000. He goes, and they will tell us if something go wrong. Maybe we have to replace something, and it will tell us. And after a while, that's why the engine's just trash. And he bought the thing. And it's cool. I like those kind of buses. And I said, I've got 4 couples up at the cabin. One has one like his, and one has a basic school bus, and they are in Arizona. I don't know where, but 2 of them live in the buses, and then 2 have some really mid-sized fifth wheels, and they park them like in one square area. I don't know what they charge. The guy charges them whatever per month for all 4 of them. They get an outdoor biffy, which they all pay for. They do the toilet paper. They just come and clean it out. It just saves them using their own stuff, right? And the buses are there. They have their own cars. They go play a lot of golf. Just great couples. I don't see them all the time, but I always see them there when I wave. I walk over. How was your trip in Arizona? And they're really nice. They're basic buses, and both of them are diesel mechanics. I think they're in the late 70s. Really nice people. So they go down to Arizona or somewhere down. They always have different, but they always come back to where our cabin is at South Turtle Lake. They always come back, and that's where they come to. And it's just really easy going. They rent a party barge from the local boat place, and the guy next to me lets them use their boat slip. Anytime you want to use my boat slip, let me know. Go ahead. I have not a problem. Really nice people. And one time they used my party barge. I said, they called me. I said, sure, absolutely. I said, here's the key to get in is here. Go on in there. The boat's in there. I said, just make sure you don't ruin it. And they went on one time, had a good time. But they have those buses as they drive point A to point B, and they've had them for like 10 years. Because diesels aren't somewhere you just go to Carl's Barham Exposure's auto part, right? You don't roll in. He's like, no, I don't work on diesels. You go to the Ford Motor Company. You go to places, a diesel place, because then you have to wait in line for, hey, company I work for. We got big trucks that people work on. And one of our trucks there, guess who gets first dibs? We do. Over his thing. And it's overheating. He's going to have to flush it, go through the damn thing. It's just not going to be $200. And I think he had the video arcade in there, which is dumb. I get video arcades. My favorite's that golf one. I always love that. And they owned Playland over at State Fair and Newfoundland Oak Ridge Country Club. Lieberman was his name, and he goes, I'll give you one for $300, and it's a newer upgrade where you use a chip. I would love to have it. I have a foosball table downstairs. I get his video game stuff. I love the Pinball Hall of Fame in Vegas. $20, quarters, you have some fun, right? I think it's a gas. It's a lot of fun at the time of our lives. But it's just he just doesn't understand it. It's over. He went down. He's pissed about Mississippi, but I will guarantee you that will be gone by the end of the summer. He's already given up on. He was pissing and moaning, and his girlfriend's over there on over there on the other channel. Over there where I mean, put stuff up there for fun over there, and they're getting 20. They automatically monetize them right away. So I'm not into that, but whatever. I'm getting 15, 20, putting up the audios, some videos once in a while, just having some fun over there. That place a war zone. It's mainly a far righty, people dropping the double G hard R and whatever else. So, I mean, if they had a bigger money, they could probably compete with YouTube. But it is what it is. But he'll sell that thing. He bit up more than they can chew. And like I said, I love fabricating. I'd love to be able to get a bunch of schoolies and like even ambulance. I saw a guy went to the airport, had an ambulance. He was trash inside, but ambulance are the best because they have the door in the back. You can make it into a working man's. You can also, like I said, you advertise and say, hey, listen. Then also you can also get lawnmowers that people want to throw away, and you can hire kids from the school to come and work on the lawnmowers and paint them. Say, listen, we have a lawnmower area. Kids come to school, you mentor them to how to work on and weld and whatever else, and paint the snowblower or the lawnmower the color of your favorite team. So you come for your schoolie. If you want to paint it the Minnesota Vikings, I've seen a few in town, fine. It's your little party place. But if you are a single man, and we have a bed in there, we have the black tank, we have a solar on it, and we took care of the engine and the transmission and the tires, and we've made it into something substantial. We're not going to overload it, and you get your propane on there. Everything's ready to rock and roll. We painted it, and whatever color you wanted, the working man's RV. But I just don't. I think he's going to give up on it because it's getting to be a lot of money, and there's only so much money they're going to give you on Patreon, right? So that's because his girlfriend's over on Rumble. I listened to her Rumble video, why she left YouTube. You didn't leave YouTube forever. You got kicked off because I don't know what she was doing. The woman, hey, I'm not saying she's ugly, but her body's monetized just like Wonder Hussy. Her body is monetized, so she's not afraid to do nude calendars. She's used to when she needs money to sell her body to people, right? That's what she does. Okay, that's what the woman does. Okay, and this chick is used to being on a lovely and talented Me Only fan. She's nothing special, but she's desperate for money, so she's going to go over there and show her snatch, which to me makes no sense. But he'll get rid of it. I guaranteed he will, and I get it. You want to have that bus. I thought it was cool when I first saw the video. But he was up there on free land. I didn't watch all his videos, but again, I talked about it, is that when you're ready to build, the wire goes in. I'm going to pipe all my wire. When we do any RV work with my uncle, he does some. When we do a retool of an RV or a fifth wheel, we pipe all our wire behind the wall. And we make it so you can have, because the problem, a lot of these RVs start on fire because they run too much current. And they start on fire in the upper part of the area. I've said before, a good friend of mine builds houses, and he's only had one house fire. You know why? Lightning strike. He goes, I pipe all my wire in these $2 million houses that he builds. I haven't spoke to him in 15 years. He was a referee, just a great guy. That's my son. He's going to Hawaii to build this beautiful house. Just a great guy, but he goes, I pipe all my wire. And he goes, that's all there was to it. But no, I think it's great that you can do that kind of behavior and have the money to do that stuff. But it just doesn't realize that a lot of these RV parks, which I've heard from my that one lady who was amazing, and the other guy, Wingman. Go check out Wingman. I haven't listened in a long time. He's kind of a righty, but whatever he talks about, and she talked about it. You can't be 10 years or older, you can't get in. I think Carolyn V talked about that one time. So really nice RV parks, if you have a bus, you're not going to be able to get in there. You just got to have a nice RV, and especially if it's a remodel like mine. I was having to do it for people. Some might, but they're going to say, well, this thing's like about 20 years old, even though it's been redone and wired real nice, so won't let it in. But, so, I mean, during the pandemic, people who thought they could be RVers would just go to these RV parks and be up till like midnight, screwing around, doing whatever they're going to do. They had no idea how to behave themselves. All of a sudden they act, all of a sudden for some reason, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to party like a rock star. I'm going to act like an idiot. But it is what it is. I heard they didn't get the buffet. They got grabbed and begged. Oh my goodness. Carnival, cruise, new rules, try it. I might call Carl here, but it was just interesting to say the least, with all that behavior going on. But that's where she goes, man, with his young ass, selling merchandise. But just like with Blind Views, why in God's name would I walk around with his merch? I have a Speculation Sports shirt, fear mongering if I'm going to buy it. It says very simple. So many people who sell their merch. I think, what's his name? The Daily Woo is wearing some YouTuber's hat. And it's like, you have no idea what the hat is. It doesn't say the name of the YouTuber on there. Like I told Carl, if you're going to have a podcast, make it simple. Don't name it after yourself. Just name it simple so YouTube can find it and Google can find it. Don't do some rap or run your name together. It's not going to find it. People don't realize it. Never name it. Don't name your son's Junior, and don't name a podcast after yourself. It's not about you. I don't have my full name. Blah blah. The Mike Johnson podcast. I saw everyone has a podcast, which is true. Everyone has a podcast now these days. It's not that tough. Mine's fledging, and I get it. I get my listens. But he'll sell that bus. I guarantee it. By the end of August, he'll be gone. He's going to weigh him down. It's raining like a banshee in Mississippi. It's hot, which I would never go there. But right now, he's just, what's the word? He's living there for free. What's the word they call that? Where you live there for free. Whatever the word is called. He's just sitting there. He's squatting for someone's house. And, the girlfriend couldn't get back, wouldn't take a Greyhound bus, whatever. And, I get it. It's great to run around and be I think Cartbagger said he's going to do the West Coast Highway 1. I hope he goes to Trees of Mystery. That's a great drive. I've done that drive twice. I hope he goes up Lincoln City and Seaside and Depot Bay, goes down to the Devil's Churn. But, the Trees of Mystery is really cool. So there's a lot of cool stuff. You can also go down to the Redwood area down there. So that's more fun than the main one because you're right along the ocean. You'll probably stop at Astoria where They just had the anniversary. The story is pretty well known. He'll stop there for movie stuff. That's what he'll do. But along the way, a lot of cool stuff. Let's call Carl. But he'll sell that thing. Guaranteed. Bitch, please. Let's call Carl. I haven't spoke to him in 2 days. Carl? Nope. Hey, we're going to call Mark here. I'm going to call Mark instead. I hit the wrong one. No. I called Mark by accident. What do you get the view on here? Nope. No Marky Mark. He's having a good... Now I'll call Carl. I actually pushed the wrong one, but that was Marky Mark. I'm going to call Carl. Calling Carl.
Hello.
Yeah, thanks for calling into the show. How are you?
I'm naked.
What's going on with you? I was talking about the cruise rules. Have you seen any videos on that yet?
Yeah. I watched a few because I wanted to see what they were so upset about.
Well, here's the thing, and
then they talk about a cruise I would never go on. I'm like, why would you sign up for this shit?
Because that's why Royal Caribbean, we're going on one with Ted, okay? We're going to go on one, and it's free. Well, not free, but we got upgraded ourselves to we're going to go with Ted because he's celebrating his 3rd year anniversary of being...
He just blew me off when I told him I was naked.
What?
Yeah. I told her that you blew me off when I told you I was naked.
Oh, you're naked?
Yeah.
Okay. But
but you record on a black screen, so it doesn't matter.
Correct, and plus your audio, so you can do whatever you want to do. But anyways, we're going to go on. My friend Ted, the Talking Head, is celebrating his 3rd year of coming back from dead, not once but twice. He was pronounced dead on the highway in South Carolina after he was hit by. He was a road worker, and he got hit by a guy in a pickup truck. And then they brought him back, and he died again. And they brought him back.
Did he have an afterlife experience?
I never asked him, but he broke both his legs. His face got destroyed, but he's not what he used to be. But the point is, we're going to celebrate his 3-year anniversary, and then they're going to go on another cruise after that. They're going to go on back-to-back cruises. We're going to go on them. So it's an older Royal Caribbean, but
when I had that truck driving job, there was a dude in a motorcycle accident that smashed his face, and he had like 4 holes in his face that weren't closed, and so every time he smoked, smoke would come out of all the holes in his face.
Jesus. But no, but
I guess if you smoke, you really like smoking.
I guess, but no, I wouldn't go on Royal Caribbean. On that cruise line, I've talked with we all know your boy goes on Carnival, New York Dan, right? And it's the lowest denominator. And some of those videos are when you are.
I've always heard it's like a party boat.
Yeah, and I get it, but
if you're not going to party,
yeah, but you can. Really but Carl, I get that if you want to go, but people have to have self-control. And when you get Hennessy involved, and you have rap music, and you have hip hop, people just don't know how to act. White, black, Hispanic, and there's all kinds of fights on there. And
it's like when you go to the cheap theater in town that only charges $1. Right, and instead of going to the one that charges $13.
Correct, just like on a plane
or whatever.
Right, I know, I totally agree. I mean, it's.
Oh yeah, no, that show, Southwest Airlines.
Yes.
Where they just have it's just like parking wars.
Right, and Spirit Airlines is the same thing. I mean, Spirit Airlines is like is the Walmart of flying, just like it's the ghetto of the Carnival cruise. They've let stuff go for a long time, Carl, on that line for years. It just gets worse and worse and worse. It's just like when we go to St. Martin. It's not overly expensive, but it keeps the riffraff out. You know what I'm saying? There's no one.
Is that because the cruise line has overbuilt?
No, they just make it cheap. So people that are poor, that don't know how to act, they don't know how to act. They don't know how to be on vacation and behave themselves. No, I know
they do the switch and bait, where they give you a room that's fairly cheap and it seems like it's going to be a good deal.
Yeah.
And then they hit you up for everything. They said to rent a pool noodle was $20.
Right. But
and then they adjusted it to $11. I mean, a pool noodle should be free, or just don't offer them, or just
Correct.
sell them.
No,
for $5.
I know. That's called a pig in a poke. That's what that's called. A pig.
My wife bought pool noodles at Dollar General for $1, and they're renting them. You're not even getting them.
Right. No, I know.
They're at Target for 77 cents, and they're renting them for $20.
Well, you can't bring those things on. Like somebody actually bought a blow-up pool on. They bought a blow-up pool on the cruise, and then people smuggling in marijuana. And then, so me and you go on a cruise, right? We go Royal Caribbean, right? We're single, right? So you smuggle in marijuana and alcohol, and then we put a video up on your channel. Hey, look at me and Cowboy smuggled in. So it's one thing to break the law, but let's videotape us doing the law, breaking the law. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, management doesn't like that.
So guess what? Me and you get banned for life, because if you're going to smuggle it on, smuggle it on. But let's not. But you know what it is? I want to show everybody on YouTube. Look at me and Carl. So a lot of that stuff goes on, and so they're smoking marijuana on the ship. They're getting in fights, and this has been going on. I saw a fight one time in Australia. One time, it was like about 15 people about 5 years ago, an all-out brawl. So me and you are brawling, and they have some short Filipino guy trying to break our fight up. You know what I'm saying? An all-out brawl.
Yeah,
And it's just nuts. It's crazy, man. People are just I get it. You know, you can be poor and enjoy yourself, but there's just, like I said, on the way up Cedar Avenue, there used to be a bus shelter on Cedar Avenue, right next to church and houses. Well, the homeless in the last 6 months have been sitting in it, having sex, drug use, sleeping in it. So guess what? They took it out so people can enjoy a bus stop in that area, because the homeless ruined it. And they're congregating again there after they cleaned it up. All the stuff, they're back congregating at that same area on Cedar Avenue. There's trash everywhere, people sitting in wheelchairs, and it's just becoming to be unsafe. Even though they have a camera there, it doesn't mean squat. And then they have the skyway that goes, the pedestrian way, which I videotaped it. People walk across back and forth. They're sitting there sleeping, So, and then I was at the Holiday at 42nd in Hiawatha. The socialist train there, there's all kinds of crime there, because it's right next to there's the Holiday there, a Burger King, and a Walgreens. So people are misbehaving, and you can't have nice things because people act like total morons. It's just same thing with the cruise. You can have a good time on the cruise. Just behave yourself. You can drink and have a good time, but people get out of hand on these Carnival cruises. The new rules are coming out. You can't bring, so you can't. Let's say you really love your country music or something. They bring a Bluetooth and they crank their music at the pool. So instead of just bringing a headset and you can sit there on your chair and listen to your favorite country. I don't need to hear your country. You don't need to hear my George Thorogood.
Yeah, they got to share their music with you.
Yeah, I don't need to see it. I like certain music, once in a while jazz, but I'll do it on my laptop, and I'll just sit back and I'll listen. I don't need people.
We play tennis in the park. There's people driving around in their cars in the park.
Yeah,
blasting their music.
Yeah, people don't care about George Thorogood. If I'm listening, I do. I don't need you to hear it. But people don't know how to behave themselves on these Carnival cruises, and they've let this go on so now it just gets out of hand, and social media points it out on Twitter and on Fakerbook and all these brawls. People are like, the people of color that behave themselves, like, no, we're not going to go there anymore. But when you target poor people, what's going to happen? And they call them, they're almost like ghetto cruises. People don't know how to act. They just don't. White, black, Hispanic. They just act like total idiots. So that's the big problem. It's the way it is.
Yeah, it looked awfully crowded. I'm like, I wouldn't want to be in that huge crowd.
Oh, yeah.
And then when I see those pictures of Mount Everest, I'm like, why am I going to pay $100,000 to walk all the way up there and stand in line in the freezing cold?
It does not look... And the whole thing is, you have to acclimate yourself to that height. So you sit on, I think it's stage 3, so you'll sit there for like a week, and then make your run for the up there to go up there. It looks easy in pictures. It doesn't look easy like you just go up a basic mountain, like you're walking up a basic mountain, but it's not. It does. It makes it look like
you have to go up and down a bunch of times.
Right. So you have to practice. So when you finally go
up to 1 and down, up to 2 and down.
Right. So that when you're when you're ready to go, you make your run. And a lot of people die coming down. They get up there, they take their pictures. They die coming down. That's what happens.
So they should just have like a little. They should have like a little gondola. So when you get done, you just hop on the gondola and you go back down.
And there's a lot of dead bodies up there. So if you were to die up there to get your ass down, it's like $50,000 to get your ass down. A lot of times they'll push you off into a crevice. There was one that was called Green Boots, and then was Sleeping Beauty that was there, and that was like when you got up there, you walked by Sleeping Beauty and took a right. She was in a cave.
Yeah.
And that's another one. And so it's like, and some people get pissed because they leave somebody behind. Well, when the person's dead, you pay a lot of money. Guess what? I'm going to step over Carl to go to the top. That's the way she goes. Because if I try to help you, I'm going to die. Yeah, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, some of these stories, they talk about these Sherpas that stayed with someone way longer than I would have.
Yeah, I get it.
If I was a Sherpa, I'm like, yeah, you pay me and I'm here, but when you're on a plane, they tell you to put your mask on and then the kid's mask.
Correct. I mean, if I was doing that, I would say, listen, if I fall down, just leave me. That's a lot of families like, just leave Cowboy there. I just say, leave me there, because if you want to come back and get me, you can find me, fine. Here's some money in the bank account to get my body down, but don't kill yourself getting me down. If you can come back and get me with some Sherpas, I got money in a bank account back in the cities, and bring my body down, but just leave me. I'm dead. Don't bother. Don't kill yourself. That's what you have to have.
The whole place is full of trash, too.
Oh, God. Oh, yeah. That's a whole different... I've seen a lot of videos on that. One guy is a hiker, and they bring down all these canisters. This place is just trash. You're absolutely right. I've seen many videos on that, too. And, I listened to Into Thin Air. I read the book about all that.
I was watching Wimbledon over the 4th, and I've always wanted to go to Wimbledon, and I look at it now on TV, and I'm like, it's just wall-to-wall people.
Yeah, it's wall-to-wall people, and they're all full of themselves.
It wouldn't be any fun at all.
Nope.
It's a lot more fun to go to Cincinnati.
It'd be better to go to New York. Go to New York, the U.S. Open, New York.
Yeah, New York Open was cool.
That'd be more fun.
Except it was kind of like the poor people went and sat in the top, and then the rich people went and sat.
Well, like I said in my video, and when this fighting goes on in NFL, if you get a chance, it's called Stadium Lockup. They talked about all the fights going on is higher up in the deck in the Cleveland game, because it's cheaper, so people get in fights in the upper deck. It's called Stadium Lockup in Cleveland, and they show these fights, people just brawling, just getting in fights because it's cheaper seats. Oh yeah, when you get up higher into these stadiums, that's where all the poor people are, and they don't know how to act. They get drunk and they act like fools. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you right now. I think Nomadic Fanatic is going to sell that bus by the end of August. I think that bus will be done.
Did you see his short where he's selling beard oil?
He's selling what?
He's selling his own brand of beard oil. I can't wait for Blind Views to get onto that.
What is that?
I don't know. It's probably his own little concoction of beard oil, which he probably just puts baby lotion. So
what does that tell you?
In a bottle, and then puts a scent on it and stirs it up.
Because I listened to his girl.
Puts his little label on it.
I listened to his girlfriend over there. I didn't realize I went and she had a video. It said why I left YouTube. You didn't leave YouTube. You got kicked off YouTube. You know what I'm saying? It's like you didn't leave YouTube. You got kicked off, girl. Because she always I think she probably kept showing things where it was inappropriate. She likes to have the camera always down looking up at her. But she did a video that she lost her job. She needs money. So she literally out and out begged for money from people. Out and out begged for it. That she's begging, and right now, trust me, Nomadic Fanatic realizes that bus is a total. You told about that about they send the oil in and they look at how the engine's doing. Another buddy of mine told me the same thing. So that thing is falling apart. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, that's whenever you change oil in a diesel, you always send a sample to the manufacturer.
Correct. So he's realizing, and if to find out why it's overheating, you have to bring it in the shop, and it's not going to be $300. They have to tear that thing apart. You know what I'm saying?
And it's been overheating since he got it.
Yep.
But yet he still just kept going on and on.
Right.
He'd have been better off just making payments on a used diesel pusher that's already built.
Correct. No, I totally agree with you on that. I mean, I get what he's doing. I think it's great. I think it's fine what he's doing, but he just doesn't understand of the behavior, what it takes to run a bus. And if you listen, but go ahead.
Now that he's close to done, he's blacked out so many windows. He barely has any windows on that bus.
Correct. He didn't. He had no plan to do it in the stupid cats. And I love cats. Cats. Look at Old Man Nation. His dogs are up there and they're enjoying themselves because dogs love to travel. Cats don't travel. They're not traveling. They're stay-at-home bodies. They're not something you have run around in an RV. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
it's just stupid. But all of it, he had no plan at all for that pusher, and it was overheating, like you said. He's going to have to bring it to some place in Mississippi, some dealership, and they're going to have to tear it apart. Why? And it's going to be a couple $1,000s to get it back where he wants, and they'll find other things that are wrong with it. You know, I get you've always wanted that. Bob always want a Lamborghini. It'd be sweet to have a Lamborghini. They cost money, but I get it. It's great that you're doing, but he's finding out he's been all these chewing. But the video game thing was an absolute stupid idiot thing to do. That was dumb. Really, that was dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to regret it. He's not going to hang on to it much longer.
No.
And he's already finding out his Bigfoot is doing everything he always wanted. Right. He didn't even realize it.
So what is the Bigfoot? What is that? What kind of car is that? Is that a RV?
It's a Class C motorhome.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's made in Canada, so it's a three-season motorhome.
Okay.
Which to me is a bunch of horseshit.
Yeah. Well, that's all you need. I mean,
supposedly they put more insulation in it, but when you've got 1x1 walls, how much insulation can you put in?
Correct. I mean, it's all you need is like the Huss has got an old RV. She pulls a basic camper. It says all you need, and what's her name? Wandering Gypsy got a really nice little schoolie, and it's really nice for her. It's a perfect thing for her, just like his girlfriend does. A basic schoolie to drive around in. It's easy to drive around, and they're solid, and they're built to be on the road, and they're gas driven. So when they want to get it fixed, they can go to a gas station. You know what I'm saying?
Well, anybody that sells RV tells you that you don't want to be using it where the outside temperature is 20 degrees higher or 20 degrees lower of whatever your outside temperature.
Correct. But I just
because you're going to be miserable because they're not built. You know, they're built to warm it up a little bit and to cool it down a little bit.
Correct.
They're not meant to be out.
But he won't listen to anybody, and he had no plan at all on that thing. It's just dumb. It's just stupid. So what's going on with what's going on with Dinger? You've been talking to Dinger. Is he still doing his?
Yeah, he called me yesterday. I commented on one of his things, and I told him I wanted to tell him in private before I told him in public. But he's got those crickets on his show, and I don't know what frequency they are, but they're really annoying. I mean, and I like Dinger, but if I didn't like Dinger, those crickets would be annoying, and I'd click off.
Where are the crickets at? What do you mean?
He's outside.
Oh, okay.
And so he's got crickets. I think they're crickets. I don't think they can't be Zarcadias. The season's already over.
I see.
So anyway, now he tried to put in some music today, which didn't really help, and because I know you can do noise canceling when you edit,
right?
Like if you like to film in your car while your car's running, and the noise canceling will cut out the lower frequencies,
correct? So
you won't hear that rumble.
Mm-hmm.
But crickets is a different frequency, so I don't know what you do for that.
Right. Well, when I'm in the backyard, you can hear the birds when I'm down there by the creek. You can hear the birds in the background. That's kind of a,
Now, I don't know if he's on a closed mic, but
I don't think he is. He's when you're open mic'd, like I've been a few open mic'd, he gets everything. I always tell my wife if I'm doing videos, I can hear you, they can hear you. If I can hear you, they can hear you. You know what I'm saying? So
because I know my wireless close mic says I've got one that's ultra noise canceling, and they showed a lady talking in New York City with all the traffic going by,
right? And
they showed the difference, and you still hear the traffic, but it's not like when like Sarasota going across that bridge and you don't have no mic.
Correct. Yeah, it picks
nothing like that.
Yeah, it picks up everything. So I guess my nickname from Barium Exposure is called Mumbles. Keep talking. Just keep talking. Talk about something. I'm gonna go. Be right back.
All right. Maybe Barium Exposure should be car talk because he's always in the garage. Have a car talk. But they used to say it's car talk. What was that tagline? If we don't know it, you don't need to know it, or car talk. What was their tagline? The best show. That was funny. Yeah. Hey, Buffalo. Uh-oh. Oh, is this the dude that's got the side piece? Is this the side piece guy? Mr. Side Piece?
All right, Carl, I'm back.
Oh, no wonder he's got all these ladies.
Who?
This side piece farmer in Missouri.
Really?
He's got a big ranch, so that's a lady magnet.
Well, Carl, we got meatloaf coming my way, and Ward, I got to put dishes away. I appreciate you. How's the probation going? Are you behaving yourself?
Yeah. I mean, I watch Dinger and I watch Ray, so I guess it's somewhat cheating, but I'm not talking about it.
I know. I understand. No big deal.
But it is nice. I mean, when Dinger told me he had I was watching Dinger this morning. He said he had 3 or 4 out, and I'm like, cool. I haven't watched any of them. I'm not gonna.
I know I see his stuff all the time. But anyways, Carl, you have a good week, and I'll talk to you later.
Right.
All right.
All right. We'll see you.
There he goes. He's part of the view. Anyways, guys, been in the military, the armed forces, all the branches. We always appreciate you guys out there. Man went blue, balls the size of bamboo trees. We always say capitulated. September 2nd, the mighty Mo, Japanese, and after storming those beaches, snapped the necks and freed the Jews. Air Force, Army, and the Marines, and the Navy, and the Merchant, and Ascot Coast, in uniform. Thank you so much to this country. Without you, little nothing at all. One was supposed to end all war, World War II, forgotten Vietnam, Afghanistan, many, many wars out there. Balls, the side of man went blue like a cop called crackhead. Would you shower in the shower at Penn State? Well, not shower in the shower at Penn State. AIDS will kill you. Herpes lasts forever. I'm just wondering, line there in line now. Did you have AIDS or not? Don't drink and drive. Not a very Christian thing to be doing, watching 2 women have sex when you don't like 2 men. Okay? Half of myself. You guys have a great week. Have a good Monday. Thank you, Carl. Barium Exposure. Keep good work. Keep trolling. Ladies and gentlemen, this voice. We here on Fear Monger Radio. We are out.